In this video, I'm about to break down how Henry has built the best offense in Madden 23 that has allowed him to win hundreds of thousands of dollars, win multiple MCS tournaments, and become the best player in the world. I'm going to show you guys how to run his offense down to a T. YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Duke, back here from sportsgamers.com, and in today's Madden 23 video, I'm going to break down the best offense in the game. This is the offense that pro player Henry has used all year long to win hundreds of thousands of dollars, MCS belts, and just become the best overall player in the world. So if you're looking to become better on offense, this is the video for you. Looking for Madden 23 Ultimate Team coins? AOEAH.com is the cheapest and most reliable coins on the market. Click the link in the description and use coupon code SPORTS for 3% off your order. So what Henry does is he runs the Colts Playbook on offense. And the two main formations he runs are gun bunch offset and gun tight slots HP weak. Now it's important to know his audibles and his personnel, and then we're going to get into his play setups. So he comes out in the gun bunch offset, and by coming out in the gun bunch offset, he's then able to audible into the gun tight slots HP weak. Now to be quite honest, he pretty much always audibles into the gun tight slots HP weak. He very rarely runs the bunch. Now with the tight slots HP weak, you're going to want to make sure you have the following audibles set. So we're going to put in flood and mesh spot, which is going to give us flood, inside zone, 4 verticals, and then mesh spot. So when coming out in the bunch is going to easily basically make the defense have to respect the bunch threat. He can quick snap verticals. That's one of his favorite plays, to quick snap. And then he can audible into the tight, which he pretty much does pretty much every play. Now, as we set this up to get into the play breakdowns, I want to remind you guys, if you're enjoying this content, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, give us a comment. All that stuff does help me out a lot as a content creator. Also, guys, I have the full Colts Playbook broken down on sportsgamers.com. So if you want access to the full scheme, if you want to learn the full offensive scheme, check out sportsgamers.com, become a VIP member, and use code DUKE for 10% off your order. Link is in the comments in the description. So when you're coming out in this bunch formation, you're definitely going to want to make sure that you have your bunch on the wide side of the field. So here, since we're on the left hash, that means that the right side of the screen is the wide side. Therefore, that's where our bunch is going to be. Now, Henry likes to use short and elite. All the players he has, short and elite is a very meta pro ability this year. I've even started to use it on my running back with Warwick Dunn. Warwick Dunn was not yet in the game until recently, but he actually gets short and elite and evasive for 0 AP. Now, other than that, the hot route master and the pass lead abilities like set feed lead or pass lead elite are pretty much meta right now. A lot of people are using the new Brady for 0 AP on Gunslinger too. And Fearless, people are starting to not use Fearless, although I still think it is an ability that's necessary to use. Now, defensively right now, the meta is a lot of dollar DB fire too. You saw baseline dollar DB fire 2 a lot in this tournament. Now, by coming out in gun bunch, that allows you to quick snap verticals or audible into the tight slots HP weak. Now, to quickly go over why you would quick snap verticals before we break down the gun tight setups, when you quick snap verticals, it pretty much makes it impossible to defend out of this DB fire. Because what's going to happen here is the seam to the tight end is pretty much wide open every play. So that pretty much requires either you to man up the tight end or to use or guard it yourself. So like if you run over here to go guard the tight end, then the problem becomes you can just hit that route to the crossing route right behind it. And also, you might say to yourself, well, what if you just take this guy and put him on the tight end and then you use this guy to guard the crossing route? Well, yes, you could do that. But then, again, the running back coming out of the backfield is on the in route, or a lot of times people will set him on a wheel route, and then he's wide open. So it really becomes a problem. You could say, well, what if you just play on the right side of the screen? And that's when, a lot of times you'll see players will just wheel route the running back out of the backfield, and that's a big gain. So this is obviously a play you could quick snap, one hot route, and it really does kill DB fire. Now that you understand how effective quick snapping verticals is, I want to get into the tight slots HP weak. Now, this is why it was so important to have your bunch side of the formation on the wide side, because when you audible into the tight slots HP weak, you always want the running back side to be on the short side of the field, which that's what it allows here. And the reason for that is because with Henry's probably favorite play, flood, the corner route needs to be on the short side of the field, because when you have a streak corner combo from a tight formation this year, or bunch, a few others obviously, basically that corner route always gets open. Always. It doesn't matter what they do, minus 1 or 2 adjustments, that corner route is held to defend on the short side. Pro players run this so they abuse it. Now, what someone could do to defend this is the corner route is they could back up their cloud flat or their flat zone, back him up and zone drop him to like 20, 25 yards. Now, if they do that, at that point, that guy will defend the corner route. But this is why Henry does not like to block anybody. He likes to send 5 out. And I'll show you a few different setups he has to this play. But why he likes to send 5 out is because then you have the running back quickly in the flat. If they're going to make an adjustment to defend the corner route, then the flat to the running back is wide open. Now, something I saw Henry do a lot on this play would just be to go ahead and trail route his tight end. And I'll explain why in a second here. But the first thing you'll see is that if he sees that you made an adjustment to take away the corner route, the running back is pretty much always there. Now, this play is really nice because a few different things here. The corner route streak combo really forces you into certain adjustments to take it away without having to manually guard it, and then that opens up other areas of the field. So here, yes, the running back is open. However, what the running back does is also takes the zones out horizontally on that left side of the screen. So Henry really only has to read the running back side of the formation. The first thing he'll check is if the running back's open. If he is, you're going to hit him. If not, you pretty much know the corner route probably is going to be open unless manually guarded. So you then have the action coming from the other side of the formation back to the running back side. So you guys can see initially you have Herman Moore cutting in on that kind of drag route, but the tight end is trailing behind him. It's going to be easy to attack. Now, something pro players will do a lot is change the coverage shell. So here we've made the left side of the screen cover 3, but we kept the right side cover 2. This is just going to make it a little bit more difficult to make your reads because you don't always know what the defense is in. So if I see something like this, again, we can just go ahead and drag Herman Moore and leave our tight end on the trail route. We can still read the running back side because I'm immediately looking if that running back in the flat is open. If he is, I'll hit him. If not, we know that the corner route should be open because the streak is going to take that deep zone far enough back we can fit the corner route in there. Even if KO knockout zone abilities, that will be open a lot of the time. The really genius thing about this play, though, is how it really attacks the middle of the field. So what you can see is, say you're playing on this user right here, if I see Herman Moore coming over the middle, I got to jump him, and then the trail route's going to be wide open. But if you stay at home and you don't jump that, then, you have more problems because, then you can just throw that drag right away because the drag is going to come open if you don't guard that because the running back is going to make those zones spread out, leaving that drag open pretty much right away, right? So you guys can see here, if you don't guard that with your user, that's open kind of pretty much every play. And obviously, you could make a bunch of adjustments to man a bunch of people up, but just this one quick snap play, again, this is pretty much a quick snap, when you audible from bunch to tight, you can make all these hot routes really fast, and again, you're quick snapping it every single time. So another similar setup we could run out of flood to quick snap is going to attack the defense in a very similar way, but a little bit different hot routes. We're still going to go ahead and do a streak to Irvin next to the corner route, but now we're going to go ahead and put Moore on a post. Basically what this does is it still is the same concept where we can read the running back flat corner over there on the left. If we don't like it, we go back to the middle. But now they're used to the tight end being on the trail. This time he's going on a drag and we have the post coming behind. So if you try to jump the drag, bam, we hit the post right behind. And we still have all that action on the left side of the screen. So again, if they back their corner up and leave the flat open, we can easily hit that. Now, the next play I want to look at is mesh post. So mesh post is really nice because it does a great job of complementing flood. Mesh post is going to attack more so the middle of the field and then the seams. Whereas with flood, we were really looking to attack that sideline area with, the corner route streak flat combo. And then we did have routes over the middle. We're more so attacking the seam here, right? So what we're going to do is pretty easy. We're going to put this outside receiver on a flat and then the receiver in the slot on a slant. Past this, what I like to do is do an out route to my tight end, and then I either smart route the post if I can, or I hot route him to a post if I have the ability. So basically my reads here are simple. I'm going to first read the flat to make sure that there's somebody in the flat. If there's not, I could hit either the tight end or Irvin. Now, if both flats are accounted for and I can't quickly dump it down, then I read the running back in the seam, the slant, and the post. And I kind of do that very quickly all at once. So let's look here. Immediately you guys can see, the flat was covered pretty reasonably, so I had to go over the middle of the field, and I made my read. So what happened there is, the vert hook by default, it had to go spread out wide because of the route combo here. You guys can see here, I have a few different concepts going on with very good spacing. I have both flats accounted for. Bam, over here. And then I have the seam. I could have thrown the seam here. That would have been a close window, but the slant was more open because you can see Hendricks is dropping with the post. Now, you're kind of just in this situation would be reading the user more than anything. So like, let's say that this player right here, they're using peppers. You would kind of just need to read the user and who they go guard, because that's going to tell you who you're going to need to go to on the play. Now, that seam route is really, really hard to stop. A lot of people know about it, right? It's a very common route to the running back. So if you see somebody abusing you with that, naturally you're going to either user it like this, or you're going to man somebody up on him. And if you man somebody up, then obviously, we're not going to be able to throw that. So if I notice that he's manned up or usered, then I pretty much go to the post and the slant, assuming that the flats are guarded. And at that point, it's a really simple read, because most likely when they're blitzing you heavily like this, you're going to have basically a user over the middle having to pick between the slant and the post. Now, a lot of times people will try to kind of bait you between the two and stand kind of in between the two. And if you see that, all I do is I just throw a high ball, because there's no, if he tries to run back and I highball at this point, he can't react to that. You can't change directions as well this year as you could in years past. So if I see someone just trying to bait me in no man's land, I just look at whoever is behind him, throw the high ball, and once I know he can't react, and it's GG's in the chat. So this is just a really quick breakdown of how he ran his offense. If you want the full scheme, like I said, check out sportsgamers.com. We got the Colts Playbook breakdown, about 12 other guides, hundreds of tips in the vault we do each week. Well worth the price. Use coupon code DUKE for 10% off your order. We got the link in the comments and description. Till next time, I'm out of here.